Imagine standing on a beach, listening to the rhythmic clicks of a whale echoing across the deep. For centuries, those sounds were mysteries, alien signals beyond our grasp. We assumed animals communicated in simple ways: warning cries, mating calls, instinctive noises. But what if those sounds were more than noise? What if whales, elephants, bats, and even birds were not just calling, but conversing? And what if artificial intelligence is the key to finally unlocking those hidden conversations? This isn't just science fiction anymore. From massive underwater microphone arrays to AI models trained on terabytes of sound, researchers are beginning to uncover startling evidence. Sperm whales may have a phonetic alphabet, elephants may call each other by name, and bats might use a form of motherese when speaking to their pups. The challenge of decoding these messages is one of the most ambitious scientific quests of our time, and it's reshaping how we think about language, intelligence, and our place in nature. The question isn't just whether AI can help us talk to animals. The deeper question is, once we understand them, how will that change us? For generations, people believed animal communication was limited, almost mechanical. Monkeys cry out when predators appear. Birds sing to attract mates. Whales sing haunting songs across the oceans, but surely it's just instinct. Science long reinforced this view. Human language, we were told, is unique. We alone possess grammar, syntax, and the infinite creativity of words. Everything else was dismissed as signals. That belief made us comfortable. It justified our dominance, our separation from the animal world. But then came the revolution in digital bioacoustics. Suddenly, scientists could place recorders in jungles, oceans, and skies, collecting vast data sets, far too much for human ears to parse. AI, originally designed for human speech recognition and translation, was repurposed for these alien soundscapes. And what it found was astonishing. Complexity where we assumed simplicity, structure where we assumed chaos, and meaning where we thought only instinct reigned. We are now faced with a provocative possibility. Maybe animals have been speaking in languages of their own all along. We just never had the ears, or the algorithms, to listen. Let's start with the giants of the sea, sperm whales. For decades, scientists recorded their rapid-fire clicks, called codas, but couldn't make sense of them. Then, in 2024, Project CETI and MIT's AI researchers revealed something stunning. Sperm whale communication may be built from a combinatorial phonetic alphabet. These codas aren't random. Whales manipulate rhythm, tempo, and silence, even adding ornamentation, like a musician adding grace notes, to shift meaning. This is more than mimicry. It's systematic, structured, and context-dependent. Think of it as musical phrases carrying meaning, not unlike human syllables forming words. Even more intriguing, whale clans have dialects, passing traditions across generations. It isn't just biology, it's culture. And with AI models trained on thousands of codas synchronized with observed behavior, scientists are starting to hypothesize the grammar of whale communication. We don't yet know what a whale is saying, but the discovery of language-like structure, phonetics, dialects, maybe even proto-syntax, is enough to challenge the notion that human language is the only complex system on Earth. On land, elephants add their own twist to the story. In 2024, researchers analyzed nearly 40 years of elephant recordings using AI. What they discovered floored them. Elephants appear to use names. Low-frequency rumbles, inaudible to us without equipment, carried unique identifiers tied to specific individuals. When an elephant's name was played back, only that elephant perked up and responded. Even more remarkable, these names weren't mimicked. Unlike dolphins or parrots, elephants invent arbitrary sounds for each other, true symbolic labels. This isn't just clever signaling, it's abstract representation, the ability to assign a sound to an identity. That's one of the hallmarks of human language. The implications are profound. If elephants use names, what else do they label? Places, emotions, events? The AI models that uncovered these names are now being refined to search for patterns in other calls, potentially unlocking a whole elephant lexicon. Then come the bats. In noisy, crowded colonies, thousands of voices fill the night. To the human ear, it's chaos. But AI has revealed something very different, an intricate society of chatter. Egyptian fruit bats, for example, produce vocalizations that vary depending on context. They scold rivals, quarrel over food, and even adjust their tones based on the listener's identity. Mothers shift their pitch when addressing pups, a kind of motherese. And, just like human babies, bat pups babble back, practicing the sounds they'll need later. Machine learning models trained on these interactions have revealed patterns invisible to human observers. Calls cluster into categories, linked with behaviors like aggression or grooming. Some appear to be individualized, almost like names. In other words, bat colonies aren't random cacophonies. They're conversations layered with identity, context, and social nuance. If bats, tiny mammals with brains smaller than walnuts, can sustain such rich communication, how much have we underestimated the animal kingdom? And dolphins? Their story is one of mimicry and identity. For decades, we've known that bottlenose dolphins have signature whistles, unique acoustic patterns functioning like names. AI-assisted studies confirm that dolphins recognize their own whistles and respond when called, just as humans react to their names. But dolphins don't stop there. They can mimic each other's whistles to call specific individuals, and recent AI analyses suggest they may even combine whistles into short sequences, hinting at rudimentary syntax. What ties all these breakthroughs together, whales, elephants, bats, dolphins, even primates, is a growing recognition that communication in the animal kingdom is far more complex, structured, and culturally rich than we ever believed. So how does AI actually help us decode these voices? The answer begins with data. New digital bioacoustic tools, miniature microphones, underwater hydrophones, aerial drones, are recording 24/7 across the planet. A single whale array can generate terabytes of audio. No human could possibly listen to it all. Enter machine learning. AI models repurpose tools originally built for human speech recognition. Spectrograms, visual images of sound, are fed into convolutional neural networks. Self-supervised models learn to cluster calls without labels, finding structure where none is given. Generative models even create synthetic animal calls for controlled experiments. One of the most ambitious efforts is Earth Species Project's Nature LM Audio, a large audio language model trained not just on animal sounds, but also human speech and music. By embedding animal calls in high-dimensional spaces, it uncovers latent structures, like rhythm clusters in whale codas or pitch families in bird songs. Other projects explore unsupervised machine translation, aligning the geometry of animal communication with human language, even without a Rosetta Stone. Imagine discovering that whale codas and human words share an underlying shape in meaning space. These methods don't just catalog calls, they generate hypotheses. AI might flag a call that clusters near alarm contexts, and biologists can test it with playback experiments. AI is not replacing field science, it's accelerating it. One of the most exciting frontiers is generative AI. Instead of just listening, scientists are beginning to speak back. For example, researchers in Germany built a robotic bee that could mimic hive vibrations. It delivered a stop signal, and the real bees obeyed. It even performed a crude waggle dance to direct bees to a location, and they followed. Project CETI has similar ambitions with sperm whales. After building massive datasets of whale clicks paired with behaviors, they plan controlled playback experiments, generating synthetic codas, playing them back, and seeing if whales respond appropriately. This is not about tricking animals, it's about testing hypotheses. Does this coda mean, let's dive? Does that whistle mean, come closer? The ethical guardrails are strict, but the potential is staggering, a path toward two-way interaction. For the first time, AI allows us not only to eavesdrop on animal conversations, but to participate, carefully, cautiously, in them. Of course, this quest faces enormous challenges. The first is the sheer scale and messiness of data. In the ocean, microphones pick up waves, rain, and boat engines. In forests, insects drown out bird calls. Untangling who is speaking in a dawn chorus, or which whale in a pod made a coda, is called the cocktail party problem. Even once sounds are isolated, we lack ground truth. In human languages, we have dictionaries and translations. With animals, we don't. Is a whale coda a word, a sentence, a paragraph? Without translations, AI must infer meaning from context, co-occurrence, and playback experiments. Then there's anthropocentric bias. We risk forcing human categories, words, syntax, onto alien systems. Bee dances aren't sentences, but they're meaningful. Dolphin whistles might not break neatly into words. The danger is finding human-like structure where none exists, or missing genuine structure because it doesn't look like ours. There's also the philosophical hurdle of the Umwelt, the idea that each species experiences its own perceptual world. A bat's reality is built from echoes. A bee's is ultraviolet patterns on flowers. A dolphin may sense the internal structure of a fish with sound. Even if AI translates a whistle into the word fish, what does that mean? The dolphin isn't picturing what we picture. Their fish might be a sonar map of density and movement, not a visual shape. This is the heart of the challenge. Can we ever truly understand what an animal means if meaning itself is grounded in a world we cannot perceive? AI may get us closer, but it also forces us to confront the limits of human understanding. With power comes responsibility. Decoding animal communication isn't just a technical challenge, it's an ethical one. Playback experiments must be cautious. Playing false alarms risks stressing animals. Constant surveillance raises questions of privacy. Do elephants or whales have a right not to be constantly recorded? Then there's the dual-use problem. The same tools that help conservation could be weaponized. Poachers might use AI to locate herds. Industries could exploit synthetic calls to manipulate animal behavior. Projects like CETI and Earth Species Project place ethics at the core, asking before each action, is this in service of the animal? But as technology spreads, ensuring global safeguards will be critical. Beyond immediate risks lies a deeper moral shift. If whales have culture, if elephants use names, if bats teach their young through motherese, can we still see them as resources or as property? Legal scholars are already exploring whether complex communication could strengthen arguments for animal rights or even legal personhood. Some Pacific nations have recognized cetaceans as legal persons. If we confirm their languages, that trend could accelerate. Just as the Copernican revolution forced us to accept we weren't the center of the universe, and Darwin forced us to accept we weren't separate from animals, decoding animal communication may force us to accept we're not the only species with complex voices. The consequences could ripple through law, conservation, even philosophy itself. What might the future hold? Some envision a Google Translate for animals, a device that interprets an elephant's rumble or a whale's coda in real time. Conservationists imagine warning elephants away from villages or alerting whales about ship traffic. Zoos could monitor stress or joy directly from animal voices. By 2030, projects like Earth Species Project predict transformative breakthroughs. Two-way communication may emerge in limited contexts. If that happens, the cultural impact could be enormous. Hearing an orca ask for freedom or an elephant express grief would transform public opinion and policy overnight. But even short of that, the knowledge itself changes us. Knowing that animals have complex languages shifts our worldview from human-centered to ecocentric. It places us within a chorus of voices, not above it. The real revolution may not be in what we say to animals, but in finally learning to listen.